It is Friday, the 15th of November, 2024. I am Jacob Payne, and boy, do I have news for you on this day. 8 stories in the queue for you to get through for this day. Of course, some love to our partners who do it always on Fridays, and a bit of a foreshadowing for the weekend and for Monday. We have 2 days off from doing things you might have heard, so we got to get you prepped up for the weekend show, the weekly roundup, and of course, doing this again come Monday. So all that and more. Great things are coming. Great things afoot today. 4 things you might have heard. 4, if I've not said it so far today, which I'm pretty sure I've said it twice already. Friday, November the 15th, 2024. 8 stories in the queue for this morning. 8 stories you deemed were conversational, covering topics that were all about the information, politics, and events, and pop culture news, and no particular order as they're being presented, other than the fact that they seem like the right nice way to do them for today. Our website, This Is a Conversation Project.com, is where you can find more details about the Conversation Project itself, and email us as Will presents itself at the conversation inbox at gmail.com. Starting off with story and headline number 1. And we're still dealing with the new falling in place. I won't say fallout, but falling in place for the dominoes in effect for Donald Trump and his new administration, because things can change. He's dropping some more names, and more people are going to be in his cabinet or working around him. This is one is not unexpected, but whether it gets actually passed through Congress as a hearing that people can actually approve of, we shall see. Headline number 1: Trump chooses anti-vaccine activist Robert F. Kennedy Jr. as health secretary. The president-elect has chosen RFK Jr. to serve as Secretary of Health and Human Services, or HHS as it's acronymed. He's an environmental lawyer and a prominent skeptic of many things, including vaccines, health policies, and pharmaceutical companies, which we all hate pharmaceutical companies, but he's been pretty big about being against them. His nomination has sparked controversy, as you expect, with public health experts expressing concern over his past dissemination of the vaccine information, essentially saying that they're a fault, saying that they're doing bad things to people, vaccines in general, not just the big one for COVID. But supporters argue that Kennedy's appointment could lead to increased security and scrutiny in how the pharmaceutical practices actually work through, and a focus on environmental health issues going forward. So there could be some good because of the public worth of his environmental work, but he tends to not like vaccines, which is a kind of a stickler. We shall see how RFK Jr. plays out going forward. Yesterday, we had the story about the hearings for the people in the people on Capitol Hill, former members of the military, former members of security staff, former people high up places who have seen evidence or know of evidence or have heard of things that in confidence that aren't being told by folks to the folks. And from that, the Pentagon found a way to find some details to release to folks. They received hundreds of reports of UFO sightings within a day. The All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office reportedly a significant increase in identified aerial phenomenon sightings, receiving 757 new incident reports between May 1st, 2023 and June 1st, 2024. So that's a lot of things. These anomalies, some of them listed as true anomalies, so 21 of them are basically they can't explain them. But of the rest of them, they have some explanation for some. 118 should say, have been submitted to common objects as balloons, birds, drones. 444 reports are still under investigation. They don't actually know what to say about them. Now, we had admirals talking about ships that fly in weird patterns, and people saying that, yes, they do have pieces of things someplace out there, and they're trying to re-engineer those. The big hearing from yesterday basically told us that this is all being suppressed by the Pentagon, which if I were a Pentagon official, I'd be suppressing it too. Guess what? Not so much. The biggest thing that we're getting out of this is that our government, our senators, our representatives, even our president is like, hey, we should know about this stuff. If there's something out there, tell us something. Apparently now we're being told something. I'm not sure exactly what we want to hear, but words are coming out. Words are coming out on this story where you may not want to actually hear this one, but guess what? It's happening. North Korea, Kim orders mass production of attack drones. Kim Jong-un has directed a mass production of attack drones following a successful test demonstrating their precision in hitting targets. You may remember this picture if you're watching the video right now of Kim with his drones that are blurred out, although he's not, because we're not sure what the technology is. We're not sure how they did that. And also Kim was a bit upset that they could not quite hide the drones because he's, standing in the middle of them like such. But because of the significant test of what they had, basically they actually worked. He wants more. State media releases images showing the drones accurately striking various targets, including a BMW sedan, tanks, and other military vehicles. Demonstrations are warnings to South Korea, highlighting the drones' potential for stealth attacks to them, their neighbors to the south. The designs of these drones, unveiled in August, are believed to have been supplied by Russia, possibly sourced from Iran, which brings up a lot of the big issues we have with North Korean troops doing their dealings currently now, living and working and fighting in Ukraine, and also their current talks with Iran. And finally, while the last story is a bit of a shocker, it's not satire. And this story right here, also not satire and still a shocker as well. The headline for story number 4 this morning: The Onion has won the bid for Infowars assets. The renowned satirical news outlet has acquired the assets to Infowars, the far-right website founded by Alex Jones, through the bankruptcy auction. They have won. The Onion stands supreme. The strategic move aims to transform Infowars' platform from disseminating conspiracy theories to delivering satirical content, although some may say it'll be hard to tell the difference between one or the other. The acquisition encompasses Infowars' parent company, Free Speech Systems, along with its website, customer lists, social media accounts, production equipment, studio trademarks, and video archives. The Onion plans to relaunch Infowars in January 2025, featuring satirical material that parodies the site's previous content. So it's basically the same thing. However, they took the initiative to basically do what they could in showing support for the Sandy Hook Elementary School families, the victims of the children and the teachers killed there, basically just to stop all the craziness that was Alex Jones and just the conspiracy theory itself. The only way to basically exorcise the demons of that was to overtake it, call it the same name, and make fun of it all at once. It's what's going to happen. Back away, it's happened. Of course, Alex Jones wasn't so happy with having to sell his stuff, but he lost the lawsuit and was owing billions of dollars based off of one little lie. And so, kids, tell the truth. A lie can definitely hurt. Taking a pause from the news, 4 news stories to come after this quick break, but we need a little bit of love from you to help us progress going forward. We'll talk about this slightly when I go to the sponsor part to get the sponsors highlights, but we do need your help to make sure we're doing better for things. This has been kind of a weird transition month going out of October into November, and a weird transition year, a long bunch of years for people who've been paying attention. And we've been really close on the cusp, really right at the edge of a next milestone and not quite getting there. So we need your help. We need more people involved in conversation, more people watching us on YouTube specifically for that milestone, but just in general, so we have more people knowing the news, knowing real news, and arguing with me if you want to, because we can do the opinion part as well. So if you like what you're seeing in the Conversation Project, all the Conversation Project issues, which mostly news articles, that is real news with slight bit of commentary based on, my little crazy mind, like what you're seeing, you're hearing, you're reading. Share it with other folks who are like-minded, so we have more people in the queue, more people in the sites of what we can talk about, more things to talk about with you. And if you're not currently subscribed to our work, subscribe. Be a part of the family for real. Look for us in your feeds or set your notifications so that when we go live, just like this thing is being produced live in the morning, or if you're watching it later on, you will see it pop up for you, not have to search for it and not have to wait on the algorithm to tell you what you want, because you know what you want. Like, share, and subscribe so that we get more people in the conversation for better conversations with all of you and better insights on how we get the stories in. We'll talk about that after the next 4 stories. We'll get to the explanation in the teaser part right there. But back to the news, back to your wallet, back to issues with you spending money you should be spending. And it is time again. Now, here's the thing. The headline for story number 5, Amazon takes on Temu and Shein with discount Amazon haul store. I guess the slang for people buying stuff and going on the YouTube and showing off all their stuff are hauls. So Amazon has launched a new haul store, online storefront offering products at $20 or less, and competes against the Temu and the Shein. Now, of course, Amazon is already doing that stuff because they have stuff for really cheap, but they have a storefront that is specifically for the sort of things that are fast fashion or really cheap cheaply produced items, mostly from cheaply produced places, to get you to buy them quickly. It's accessible through the app or the web. Have a website on that one, and they feature a wider range of budget-friendly items, including fashion, home goods, lifestyle products, and electronics. Most items are actually less than $10. Some are $1, and there's plenty of discounts to be had. Now, here's the thing: this will compete with Temu, and this will compete with Shein. But the big issue is it's actually going to become just another place to buy stuff. So actually, you'll technically won't save any money or now consolidate all your purchase to Amazon and not go to other places. You're going to add one more app, one more stop, one more place to spend more money. It may be $10 at a time, but chances are you're just going to spend more money with the addition. So you've been warned. Amazon Haul is coming. If you've not heard of it yet, it'll pop up and it'll be all over the place fairly soon. Right now, Amazon is dealing with Black Friday deals. I want you to spend the big money on the big stuff right now. But guess what? When that stuff clears, if you have $1 in your pocket, they want it. Amazon Haul will find a way to get it out of that pocket. The next headline, we have resolution. We have an answer. What will we do without Coda? Well, we'll do Craig Melvin. He will replace Hoda Kotb for the Today Show co-anchor spot with Savannah Guthrie. So we're going back to a more traditional man-woman style of the desk for Today Show. Although, let's remember, Savannah Guthrie is the senior, so Craig Melvin will have to stay back, pause, and not try to push over stuff. He's not running the show. He's the sidekick. He will know that. He's good with that. Now, Craig Melvin has done a lot of work so far with Today, being a fill-in host, being one of the extra 20 guys that just sort of hang around like the Wu-Tang Clan that is the Today Show. But the appointment will start on January 13th, officially, with Craig Melvin being the co-host of the Today Show with Savannah Guthrie and Craig Melvin. It follows the decision to step down from the co-anchor role, but not quite stepping away from NBC. She's going to be on the set as the co-host for the Today Show until the 10th. Next weekend, it'll be Melvin. He's been at NBC for about since 2011. He's been a news anchor on Today's Weekend Today, all over the place, done plenty of stuff on MSNBC, so it's there. Coda wants to leave to spend more time with her family, and so she's going to do that. So the early morning wake-up calls are there, and she so far is the biggest thing she's so geeked out about is not only sleeping in a little bit late, but it's also going to be buying a minivan, doing the mom things. Jenna Bush Hager, who of course will keep hosting 10 a.m. hour, will be transformed from Hoda and Jenna to Jenna and Friends, and they're just going to rotate folks out, just like they did with Regis and Kathy Lee for a bit until they figured those things out. Those things will live on. Hoda will live on. She'll probably pop in and probably host every so often just because she's bored. But we're so glad for Craig stepping up, taking that spot. Glad for Hoda, because she needs her flowers. She's done a lot for that company for this time, and she needs a rest. Are we glad for Aaron Rodgers? No. We didn't get a chance to see him play last year because he got hurt really, really quick. And right now, the Jets are not doing so great, but Rodgers is ready to play out his final year of his contract, his total $112.5 million contract, which you would think so. Expresses intention to fulfill the remaining year of his contract, which extends through 2025. So that means he's not going anywhere. Rodgers agreed to restructure two-year deal at $75 million guaranteed contract with the Jets, aiming to provide the team with some financial stability. And because with the question marks, one, him, being signed for big money and then not being around, and two, missing that full year, so making it a 3-year deal for a little extra money. And there's plenty of money involved in that one. But because of the struggles the Jets have and the struggles that is Aaron Rodgers, people were wondering whether he was going to opt out and go away after year 3 or before year 3. Apparently, he's going to stick around for this 3rd year and weigh his options after that. Finally, headline number 8 for this morning. We also have a resolution for the Marlins. The Rays, the Tampa Bay Rays, because the hurricane-stricken Tampa Bay Rays, because they don't have a stadium. Stadium ain't got no roof. They're going to play their season at the Yankee spring training facility in Tampa. So they're not moving too far away. They'll be pretty close. And the Yankees facility is a very nice facility for spring training. And I guess they probably would do some minor league things there as well. It's going to be farmed out to the Rays for the season, so they have a place to play while they rebuild the roof. The extensive damage to the roof at Tropicana Field in Tampa means that thing's not going to be ready for quite some time. So the home for the Rays for 2025 will be George M. Steinbrenner Field in Tampa. And it will be glorious going forward while they're doing things going forward to work on construction. Construction basically, the construction happened on October the 9th. Construction won't begin for a while. And Steinbrenner Field will seat approximately 11,000 people. So it's one of the largest spring training facilities in Florida. So they won't be shy for seats. You'll still be plenty of seats to get to, not quite Tropicana Field. And, you know, they'll probably, the venue things will probably, we're going to have at that place, you know, I'm not sure they had wrestling, but, you know, concerts and venue things, as long as it's not, you know, something that needed a roof, like a, you know, a convention, they'll probably have it out there. So the organization that runs the Tropicana Field can probably still make some money on some other events as well. And the Rays can play baseball, smaller stadium, but just as well to get something done. Congratulations on making that fine. And thank you, Yankees, for guess not being sorry losers in the long standing of just being good baseball neighbors. Good neighbors, you are all. That is all you folks that hang out with us for the Conversation Project. And right now, we're doing our transition from the news part, 8 stories that you vetted and deemed as fairly conversational, to the teaser section where we talk about how you vet them to make them conversational. It's very simple. We post news articles all day long for you to review and us to give you an update in the morning, Monday through Friday mornings. And we do that on Facebook, on X, on Threads. If you want to talk about this story here, it's going to have to go through the weekend, because the next time we'll do this will be on Monday morning. We'll have 10 stories from the weekend covering the top 30 stories of the weekend. We'll pick 10 of those stories from there. And it's up to you to make sure we're talking about Trump, Stallone, and George Washington. How's it make any sense? Oh, I was watching News Nation last night as they're waiting for Donald Trump to speak. Actually, they're waiting for Sylvester Stallone to speak before Donald Trump spoke. And Stallone opened up for Trump with a speech that was so positive, so endorsing, and basically telling the world that George Washington's is essentially the blueprint that Donald Trump is using. Donald Trump is like the second coming of George Washington. He's going to save this nation. Let that sit for a while, a long while, a full weekend, if you will. But you've got today where it'll be posted. And so start engaging in it when it comes into your feeds. Facebook.com/This Is Conversation Project, X.com/TH_conversation, and Threads.net/@This Is a Conversation. When you see these stories that you like, or maybe dislike, or just kind of scratch your head at, engage in them. Read them so you get more context on what we're talking about. Share them with other folks so more people can get the same reactions you can. Like them, love them, hate them. The more engagement the story gets, the better chance you have to talk about it. We have over 90 stories going to be posted over this weekend from today to very early Monday. And from those stories, we'll pick the top 30 based on engagement, 30 or so, maybe a bit more. And 10 of those stories will make it into the headlines that we read for you Monday morning. For the rest of the week, one day's worth of stories is about 30. 15 is half of 30. We take 8 from the top 15 in a day. There you go. So 10 on Monday, 8 the rest of the week. What we'll do all next week, you have to engage, and you have to engage all weekend long. You can do this, including for our weekly roundup. We'll talk about that when we get to the promotion part in a second, but we do have a roundup of some of the bigger stories from the past week that you engaged in and I thought we need to relive. So we'll talk about that in a bit. But also, we have to talk about our sponsor, because we cannot do this thing without help. Your help, financial help, help in general, help on the feeds, and help in making things happen. So visit our sponsors page at our website for more of our sponsors. All our sponsors are affiliate links, so we get a small commission for what you buy from those places. But today, this one is one that we've been touting for quite some time. I believe I've been using this as a sponsor for about 8 years. And I've been using the service, the actual store, for over 10 years. And there's Zenni Optical, because I've been buying my glasses from Zenni online for a decade. This is conversationproject.com/ZENNI. This is conversationproject.com/Zenni is your way to help us out, because it is commission link, but help yourself out with a great pair of glasses. It's eyewear that you will love, because it is eyewear that is good looking, eyewear that is great shape, hold up in great fashion, and inexpensive. Frames start as low as $6.95. They're not really ugly frames, and they go as far as you want to go. Although they won't go as far as the other places that will give you those designer brands and prices. We give you, or they give you, I don't do the work there. They give you designer looking glasses for much, much lower prices and great customer service all around. It's really hard. We've been talking about them all week long with some big promo type things, but this is a simple one. This is an easy one. Zenni Optical will take care of your eyes, whether you need glasses for men, women, or children. They have a set of frames that are good for you. They have lenses that will work for you. They have lenses that will do what you want them to do, and they will do it for a good chunk less than you will at your local store or some of those online stores that tout all the wonderfulness of beauty and beautifulness, both the same thing, but they'll do it for a big chunk less, and you'll love them just as much. Use our link for our affiliate commission to help us out at thisistheconversationproject.com/Zenni and help a brother out, help the Conversation Project out, help us keep things going here at the Conversation Project, and help yourself out. Help out your eyes. Your eyes could use some help. You do that for yourself, the Conversation Project. Now, this is the part where we promote ourselves, and this is in a moment we'll go a little deeper and we'll talk about our partners to give them some love for the day. But the Conversation Project lives online at thisistheconversationproject.com, where you can find more details on how we got to be a conversation project, the not so much torrid but storied past, and the foibles and things we've done to revamp and pivot and turn this into what it is right now. You find out what the mission behind us and links to past stuff. All the stuff we do is there basically on the website. Plus, all the places we are is there basically on the website. Go there and look for a better way to find us. If you're watching this long form thing and you want something more short form, we have TikTok links as well. If you're looking for something that's more grabby, catchy to you, we've got YouTube and we've got X. Facebook is the standard, although Facebook isn't doing our recordings these days live, so you're not watching on Facebook right now. We still post the stories on Facebook. Facebook has a lot of big issues for engagement, so it does push a lot of the agenda here. So that's all that as well. We also have a page online at our website. Talk about a page for sponsors, list of sponsors there. The page for partnerships, our partners, and that is a way that you can directly partner up with the Conversation Project and help us do stuff. You become de facto the board of directors. You become the group that helps us push things forward. You get not so much first dibs at conversation because we read all the emails that go along as well, but these are people who are actually funding us directly in cash and directly in their comments, some weekly, some of them a couple times a day. Eldon Kid pops up every couple of days because I've known that person, a pseudonym, if you will, for most of my lifetime since being an early teenager, and he's been behind me all along. He's usually on my chops, but he also offers up $5 a month via the Cup of Coffee subscription. Colby Green and Harold Braxton also at that level. And the spare change is Joy Winters. It's just $1 a month. And that may not seem like it's much effort, but dollars matter. Change matters. This is $16 a month that goes to pay off something. I have things that are worth $60 or cost $60 and they pay it off. And we also get some donations coming in and one-time shots here or there. This is run through the Buy Me a Coffee platform, which is why we use a cup of coffee metaphor. So if you want to see how you can give us a monthly subscription, go to our website and click on the partnerships link, and you can become a partner directly for a monthly subscription, or you can give in a one-time shot on PayPal, on Venmo, on Cash App. We take those as well. We thank our partners for helping us get through the week, get through the months, get through all the time we've done. And if you are a partner, you get a very special newsletter every single week, and sometimes a video. We've been lacking in video lately, but you get a response of how we did last week. Sometimes it's me, basically, you are my therapist going through that one. So if you want to know about the real insides behind things, other than the tornado stuff where I was kind of crying every day, become a partner. You're always a friend, but become a partner and help a brother out with the stuff we do here at the Conversation Project. With that, we're done here at the Conversation Project for this week. At least 4 things you might have heard. On Friday, November 15th edition of 2024 edition of This Is Done. Now, we do have coming up in about 5 minutes the things you might ought to know, and that's the fun stuff that always happens. We do have coming out tomorrow the weekly roundup, where we give you 12 of the stories from the past week that made the biggest impact. You guys put a lot of engagement into, and it really caught my attention. We'll explain some of those. We'll relive a bit as well. I promise we won't redo all 7 or 8 of the appointees that we did for Donald Trump. We won't do that. We'll package that in some sort of nice little bow, or talk about one person and roll it through. We won't do 8 people in one story. That's not happening again. But we do have the wrap up of good news stories of the week. So if you want to know what story you may have forgotten about that was really impactful, we'll remind you tomorrow. In the meantime, stick around for the things you might ought to know, whether it's in your feed live or whether you're going to watch it on a replay somewhere else. And look for our clips of news stories. We'll take clips of things here, and you can respond directly to those in those news clips, also on TikTok and the shorts, so you can see them in short form. And just be a good person. We're going to have some news on Monday, because we should have teased who's winning Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. That fight, or at least the broadcast begins 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 Central, and I'm sure their fight will be somewhere around 9 or 10 with some undercards. We shall see how Netflix manages this big thing, whether it's a fiasco of a streaming service or a fiasco of a boxing match, or glorious because Mike Tyson punches out and knocks out Jake Paul in the first round. I'm not betting on that, but it'd be nice. We'll see how that plays out. Foreshadowing that one. We'll see how other things play out and what stories you deem as conversational throughout the weekend, because maybe we'll talk them up. It's all up to you. Thank you so much. We love you guys. We love you guys so much. Let's get out of here for this one. Get ready for the next one. We'll see you for more things you might not have heard, as I said, come Monday, where it'll be all right.